Hello, I hope I got this thing all ready. I am trying different backgrounds, and this one was kind of as up in the mountains and, where I live, where all the creatures are, and snakes and all the good stuff of life. And I thought it might be nice. I have a couple others. One is with some ducks swimming through ponds. But this story, this story is a story about faith. I know that we have heard the story of Noah and how Noah was told by God to build an ark. Everything seemed just fine. The Bible shows that he builds the ark and the water comes and all the animals that are in the ark are safe. But what about after God told him to build the ark? What do you think he thought? Was God a vision or was it an angel? I would say that's a pretty big thing to put on my plate. I mean, someone, God coming down and telling me he's gonna wipe out the whole planet, and that you need to save all these animals in your family and build this gigantic boat that took him a while. And in the meantime, all the people are looking at him and thinking, you know what? I think something is a little wrong up here, and that I don't know. Maybe he was told that he was going to be put in jail if he didn't tear it down. I don't know. It was a long time ago. But he had to have the faith for God to go on. And the story tells how his family supported him. Even though we have movies out that say his family didn't. But I believe in those days that probably families stuck together, large families. And probably they did. Maybe God knew that, or maybe the kids were so good that they did what their father told them for all those years. Well, I don't have the Noah story in my head, but I believe it was something like 120 years that Noah had to take to build that ark. And to get your children to help and support you is, I have trouble with my own children. I can't tell you how hard that might have been. But the story I wanted to tell you about, the one that I think took a lot of faith, was, we remember Moses. Moses leading all those children from Egypt, out of Egypt, through the Red Sea, with the waters way up high. And of course, the poor Egyptians got flooded. And then, of course, all the episodes that occurred in the desert, which I'm not going to cover because those could be other stories. But they finally make it across the desert after 40 years, and Moses doesn't get to come in. That's another story. But Moses couldn't come in, and he was turning over his reign, his power, his command to an individual called Joshua. And Joshua, I'm sure, was younger than Moses, and I'm sure that he had some of the skills, because I'm sure Joshua was like a lieutenant or a commander under Moses, and probably learned a lot from Moses. But came in, and the children cross over into the promised land, and they come upon this city called Jericho. Big, giant city. Wall, it probably was very big. Now, these walls that protect them, there's no way you're going to get up there, and there's no way you're going to break that wall down. This wall was so thick, and I haven't read about how big the wall is, but I read about the faith of what they had to do. Now, this wall being big, and if you come across a big wall, I'm sure that I know I would have a little bit of doubt that I'm going to knock this wall down. Well, God told Joshua to walk around with his war people once every day up to a seventh day. And on that seventh day, He was supposed to do something different. But I like to read it directly from my Bible because it's so direct and it's so open. And in my Bible, I think it's the NIV. I could be wrong. I sometimes misquote. The angel said to Joshua, and you shall march around the city, all the men of your war circling the city once. I'll bet you the people in Jericho were probably looking at me like, what are these guys up to? And with its kings and its valiant warriors. Now, wait, no, that was before. I said, and you shall march around the city, all the men of the war circling the city once. You shall do this for 6 days. Also, while you do this, you have 7 priests shall carry 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark. Then on the 7th day, you shall march around this city 7 times, not once, 7 times. And the priests shall blow their trumpets. Well, that's weird. Now, well, I don't know what they think is going to happen when they blow these trumpets. I mean, give me a break. This is a solid wall. But that's not what the angel told Joshua. I'm sure all the warriors were probably doubting this young new commander of their Israel. And who did we get here? I mean, this guy is telling us that some angel told him this. I mean, we dealt with Moses, but we made it here and we're in this land. There's no way we can't take this city. But Joshua impressed upon his staff his war. What do they say here? What they call them? They call them the men of war. I imagine those were like soldiers, like Green Beret kind of soldiers of the Israelites. And so they're going to walk around the city, and then after that, the priests shall blow the trumpets. And it shall be that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet of the people, no, and you may hear the trumpet, all the people, oh boy, that's a lot of people, all the people shout with great shout, and the wall of the city will fall down flat, and the people will go up, every man straight ahead. Oh, come on. If I would have been told this story before the wall got thrown down, maybe I would have doubted it. Now in my life with Jesus, I see so many things that can't be explained and fortunates of my life that make me believe what I can't see. Now, when Joshua was told this, and he told this to his staff, I'm sure when these soldiers got done marching and it came to the 7th day and they marched 7 times around that city, and when they got ready to blow the horn, I'm sure a lot of those soldiers would say, oh, here we go. This is it. And they blew the horn. Now, the question is, did it work because they believed? Or did it work because they did the procedures that the angel said? I think the procedures are for us doubting individuals in this world to show us something that God was real. Kind of like when the pillar of fire guided them through the desert and how the waters parted. Things that showed that God was real. So, with this fact that this blew the horns and the city fell, I think a lot of people changed their point of views. And I think that they probably decided to maybe follow God a little better. And I know that in the Bible, after Joshua, we have some problems that occur and Israel's leave, but they come back, and quite a few experiences that you will see that God had done with the Israelites because of this, because of doubt, no faith, no wanting to do what you're told to do, like a lot of people in this world today. But I would have to say that faith, and the reason I did this short, was because of Jericho. How someone could be told that by an angel. And it doesn't say that Joshua was next to his wife or Joshua was with his family and everybody heard it. Joshua was spoken to by an angel. So I will assume that Joshua probably by himself. And to tell your people that believe in you that God's going to do something like that, I don't think that in today's world we would do that. But I think these stories helps us to realize that we need to believe more in what's going on, to believe that God's real and that God interacts with everything we do. This is Mr. D, and I hope that this will help you to see that believing is not always something you can put your fingers on. And we have to believe just to believe. But when you get something like the plagues, like Joseph and his visions and Daniel in the lion's den, when you see things like that, they just don't happen. And they happen for them because they believed, they had faith. They believed that God was there, that Jesus was with them. Faith. We all need faith. I need more faith than you have any idea with my 6 grandchildren. And believing that God's going to take me all the way to the end. But I'm sure that whatever is out there and God wants you to do, to believe and go for it. So as I said, this is Mr. D. I want to wish you a wonderful time and thank you for coming. And don't forget to subscribe to my little subscribe button. And as I said, God bless you.